white na me bommy professional football or outside no. Time me buy so every Mondays we go Monday special or Baulishi Park. If you buy a bobo nana, there was this short guy now. Or higher pa those days na blessing na Jinamubi. I mean the reporting Musuli una there. So let me see, how they were messy say war down na and here we born na me say Oseku for more money no casa there. So next time the next time na me buy holidays na me say yes you obi obi abi hun wo park ni so into Omafa nako. Luckily so at the time na I was part of the Blaster technical team meaning Juma Kakra and Achu. I mean, he was one of the coolest guys. Now man who camp, Nyambia camp for you. Ni Oduefour crowd now we do kasa. Obi on say, oh ma who chill baby. Now wajiatum. Na I worried. I worried because I mean images baby by videos now there, and I was asking myself, say, hey, so she's a building Munasa Nyamasia. I mean a bed, and I mean knowing someone who is close to you, Nasa Nasia, I think that it was very, very
right into Steven Tornado Apia, former Blasters of Ghana captain. And wama ensem afa the late Christian Achicha Samono or say oba kampano you be away din mpeno wasem ningina onyamyonfa achukra NCAA UEFA Champions League round of 16 and then matches outdoor ewo ho Liverpool Australia Anfield dominate Real Madrid and about 8 p.m. and after entrance Frankfurt and in Napoli so 8 p.m. Ochina Leipzig ne Man City and Inter and FC Porto and it's na UEFA Champions League matches and opay ye de honsem no ama we be gina so na anopay ye de agudi mu nsem no esi
man Simon Rene you don't for the abedruni Oyerepa at 5 February busumi yidie ye di anniversary near the do trade ampo nyankopon ase fiada 3rd February yeah sorry kese Oyerepa TV ne FM anim ho wadum anwumre no nsia akosi no wotwempem e dia da ye ne etiefo ne aboafo nyankopon ase nansa na no ye be commence fikesiem akosre na nanom nhira fiada 10th no nso ye the brass band ne live band betusa afimomome wo monten so Oyerepa adwumayefo fan clubs information centers any etiefo nyina beka ho 11th mementa eye Oyerepa Olympics eye football gala any games ahodo akansie ena bekoso no nkronopa akosi anwumre no 9 14th eye Valentine's Day Oyerepa ebekye ne do akire na tiefo ewo bra wo che won ma chede ahodo ukueda ne yawada eye 15th ekosi 16th no nso ye di Oyerepa radio programs nyina beko mountain so ama tiefo ene presenters ehia efiada 17th ye all night service ewo Heroes Park Papa Yara Sports Stadium gospel artist awagidin behu ye ne atiefo anwuma adwu akoma ama ye de atuntum ye nyankopon 22nd ukuada ye beda yen community projects edi na 24th efiada no aye awards night abasobo anajo na 26th kwesiada ebeye Thanksgiving service and nasia somsronko kan ye ho ne fodomom bobra ye di and 5 years anniversary ewo busume February mu enyumeku aso yasene ni kanye mosquito repellent Kojak Farmer Power Specialist Herbal Clinic Grow Fine Mujedru Forever Easy Sanitary Pads and a Fidel Pharmacy so pentremo and a personal sponsor for 0242 087473 and a 0241 052446 and a 055 644 6582 Oyerepa at 5 years of impacting lives. Yedase. Hooray! Aman Simon don't for the Abedruni. Oyerepa at 5 and February Busumi Yedie. Yedi anniversary near the Ado Tradiam Ponyankopasi. And Fiada 3rd February. Yeah, sorry, Cassia. Oyerepa TV in FM anymore wadum. And you renuncia Acosino Chimpem. Edia Diane Tiafonia Boafonia and Cropon. As Nansana no Yabako and Shefikasium. Akosana Nanamushra. A Fiada 10th and also. Yeah, the brass band, the live band. Betusa Ashimomo Wamontenso. Oyerepa Jumaya 4 fan clubs, information centers. Any a tier for Yina Beckham. 11th, Mementa, Oyerepa Olympics, football gala, any games Sahodwo. I can see any Bakoswa non chronopa, Akosia Numre no 9. 14th, Valentine's Day, Oyerepa Abechanido, at a tier 4. Bra, watch how on much at Yahodo. Ukweda, the Yawada, 15th, Equasi 16th, and also Yedi, Oyerepa radio programs in Yina. Bakomontenso, I'm a tier 4 and a presenters here. Fiada 17th, all-night service. Heroes Park, Papa Yara Sports Stadium, Gospel Artist Awajidin, Behu near tier 4 and you may Chuakoma, Amedia Tuntum Yanyankopon. 22nd, Ukuyada, Yebedayan Community Projects a D. Na 24th, Fiadano, Awards Night, Abasobo Anajo. Na 26th, Kwesiada, Ebeye Thanksgiving Service, and Nasia Somsronko. Kayaho, near Fodomo, Mobra Yedi and 5 years anniversary. Busume February. And you may also Yasin Kanye mosquito repellent, Kojak Farmer, Power Specialist Herbal Clinic, Grow Fine with your Drew, Forever Easy Sanitary Pads, and a Fidel Pharmacy. So open Tremo, and our personal sponsor for 0242 087473 and 0241 052446 and 055 644 6582. Oyerepa at 5 years of impacting lives. Yedase. Hooray! Amman Simon don't for the Abedruni. Oyerepa at 5 and February Busumi Yedie. Yedi anniversary near the Ado Tradiam Ponyankopasi. And Fiada 3rd February. Yeah, sorry, Cassia. Oyerepa TV in FM anymore wadum. And you renuncia Acosino Chimpem. Edia Diane Tiafonia Boafonia and Cropon. As Nansana no Yabako and Shefikasium. Akosana Nanamushra. A Fiada 10th and also. The brass band, the live band. Betusa Ashimomo Wamontenso. Oyerepa Jumaya 4 fan clubs, information centers. Any a tier for Yina Beckham. 11th, Mementa, Oyerepa Olympics, football gala, any games Sahodwo. I can see any Bakoswa non chronopa, Akosia Numre no 9. 14th, Valentine's Day, Oyerepa Abechanido, at a tier 4. Bra, watch how on much at Yahodo. Ukweda, the Yawada, 15th, Equasi 16th, and also Yedi, Oyerepa radio programs in Yina. Bakomontenso, I'm a tier 4 and a presenters here. Fiada 17th, all-night service. Heroes Park, Papa Yara Sports Stadium, Gospel Artist Awajidin, Behu near tier 4 and you may Chuakoma, Amedia Tuntum Yanyankopon. 22nd, Ukuyada, Yebedayan Community Projects a D. Na 24th, Fiadano, Awards Night, Abasobo Anajo. Na 26th, Kwesiada, Ebeye Thanksgiving.
Yamamu Yinachi Beam at the bar Oyerepa TV. So, the one crata who do about you as a tiffin sem. Ena yede mamo but awerɛhoɔ no wom nso so be ne den atwu ntina yede awerɛhoɔ no na so enu a niema kakra sisi a nigye ya ni nyina ba nkrata ne ma wo sɛ ye ne moche ne yede somo Oduefour na sabre pina man enie menuanom wa hanom ya ye be wewe ho kakra kakra busafa na mote sɛn
me ansa na ye beba we ne so your 5th anniversary and Anna pay Promise Media Pennyfo Confanochi I are for Omakwaja Yaresha a cano how many moment Miss Ajima any of your phone na you yeah do we can work to Yamaka
particularly I'm phone baby unit or mother baby unit about 10 on board
wonderful kana mom na no matimi akodo mo kete so ofi nti ana pay Promise Broadcasting PNB mpanimfo ene oni akanyina e kokko fa no
ye pass wa kire mu ye se ohofo tisa ka obi odi ka bia de be ba ha
na me chi
baby baby ho
madam baby no
ya kan say maternity block
maternity block
okay daily graphica ene ye wa hai we Edward Nana Yao Granting or I see you for the MIP any idea I don't know
MIF
maybe happy I say I never had MIF okay so I say MIF grows assets from 1.7 billion Ghana cedis to 3.2 billion in 12 months we look at that institution of surveyors advocates digital map for country and so na way and was it air pollution alert okay put on mask restrict outdoor events EPA4 and they can and Dimet cautions public Kokofu yes Dr. Henry Kokofu Kwabanana Mofanka ho Executive Director for Environmental Protection Agency Pantai Hospital attention for Sally Kano Hospital Pantai Hospital owes 2.8 million to 25 suppliers at the car. And I can't hear also could grow. Hey, Emra.
Yeah, what do you now?
Support cards in imports. Yeah. Also, I support to say, and your my free. And we are in your money make a free abroad ban a door so do. So ban over
Shrab working for us.
Within 2 years or so.
My Shrab artist.
That's all my
no, because you see the on I say blueprints in the down.
Yeah.
It's your bar. It's not like say or the any innovation there building blocks no e wo hodada alla na ye nyoma hodada to your bar or bar betwaso. And because of one of the members of the committee say if that is the case there and there is nothing new about it's the better can you approve
or the member say I go on ma the obedi na de no ato wa hase if say a good course on kwade obeto aso
it also found the it count the tray
ya ba be ka ho and the one can no, but
I make up air pollution there.
Okay.
I think it's a very serious matter we are dealing with. You see, my fear is that, and here with the effect of what is happening to us, but in the next 10-15 years, because air pollution alert in Ghana, the whole world, Accra City, is the most polluted area. You trap Delhi, any Mumbai or India, I'm shocked. Ghana, the whole world, and yet Africa, the whole world. We are seeing now Ghana, Accra City, and the most hazardous area in terms of air pollution.
Yeah.
And they are almost say particles now. I small to understand that a rare lungs in them.
Yeah.
It is a rare lungs in respiratory disease.
Doctor Becker when and so now lungs
exactly. Yes, we have to take precaution. You see, if you go out your nose mask, it is a never body. Because when we pay a mission nose mask,
Professor, I always pity the empire posted for MTT for Medina a crown. Make a throw. I can't see na ekoba no.
Na ekomu.
Enfutu me ya repe ko mo no.
I see.
Chest problem.
Wow.
Opposite for MTT for no. What I research a buy I think 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Opposite for me MTT before
so mo ja kwa wo de dia. Enfutu ku omo. Gas Africa mi go ku omo. Obi si na ma ni na ko mu.
Oh, young paper for us.
Na pan phone so suppliers no nya hwe wo de some hu ye beka bi kakafa. Wo be hwa say nuane ne say nuro ne no mane oh. Omo kwagia abai subvention ne ma oye no
na oh na say we papa yi
sabi oda edro so a wo mental issue no. Eduani die ka hu
of course
edidie ka mo de ayi hu
of course
ono wo ansa na drone be work lagatela de be ma no na be work
sabe pepe
yes wadidi
but area dey do I say What's the illegal installation of new Bokunaba?
Why the brutal?
Yes, a time to be a by
why the brutal?
Oh, no,
the youth of the area the blockade. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. The youth of the area, a soldier for no police. Officials must get more and the more you will see. You to the panel, say a faction. From only man precinct, only a faction. It's a man precinct for the scene. Upper East Regional House of Chiefs and recognize one. Yes, National House of Chiefs, recognize him. And then the name nearby, man precinct for no say. Almost your media. I call yes, MP. To the
I did nothing wrong. Oh, so I dress up. Yeah,
and I can watch them. We talk about it today. Because you see, Ushemwa, Asamna, and conclude. Memisa Kagaman white paper and biwa. Na ubia ndo go. I went through the documents. In fact, almost about 72-page document. Mikani na. Now there was a part. What paper the car said. Onya $900,000 bi.
That was a deal.
That was a deal name. Sasika no. Sida ye fast to chair no. Omonti ase. Two. Ono Katie. Not only the authority, these are the words they used. The authority, the mandate, and the power to even disburse that money. It's like a yoko for omokoye further investigation. It's a number albatross around his neck and there.
Oh, yes,
now some come away or cry. Me and care friend and come in minister.
But see, that's my point. Say, into the presidential advices to the president, the government on way. What work are they doing?
So many say Ghana they send because
you see, and I feel marking. And no such message. They are worried about this issue. And I'm not Jonas Becker say, Ono as the chairman of the committee, he doesn't know. It will say, I'm passing as my king. It is true there one fab on so. Of course, yeah, approve. If this is what is the law is saying, that's why we say, I'm approving.
All right.
It's in the chairman, like I say, and they should contact Iyoko. No, besides whether they did investigation or not. That's why I'm going to some the basic. It's a way I should be seen the crime. I'm not a minister. This matter.
The best out to Dr. Kwabrando for the domestic debt exchange program. Was not panacea?
Of course, that is true.
Of broken economy, Dr.
That is true.
Finance minister called China.
And
or patch or kind between a
and he said Paris Club no. In fact, we share Ghana. We say ding na China for them kwa wom.
The doors.
55%. A car Ghana for the channel. Like your UK car, Germany, France. You can't even have China there 55%. China can do away 55%.
1 minute
really, you finish on premier and Nairi. No, you can't arrest Nairi. I want some to one my and at force any and Alexander Afenyo Mark and I.
Yeah, no, Kebich and Buta. And nothing like Kebich. I central for me.
Yeah, central for me. The MPP and this fight over
Kebich and Buta.
GRA, SML, Ghana United. Some Kaba could be as a record.
I am.
Okay. And I'm ready. Will
intervention cost $165 million. Oh, they say a crab. Hey, and a buffalo I see. Buffalo.
Okay, nice one. Brano Abusia, I have big. It for now. Niakali Ghana to say, and Chrissy Dua at the Betua. So, therefore, an answer, Pinamani, Mr. Makiel, Yawasumai. On the Maame Hana, almost crass has from G and Camunina.
Service and Nasia Songs Ronco. Can you hold me for Dombo? Mobra ye D and 5 years and
for yedama se ema makwaba ewo Ghana te sen ebre eso edu sabre yi a yedwendwen ye fa sem bi ehia oman ne pa ye kompeso ahodo so ebu won so kro ma mu ni nyina haw na ye nyina ya dwendwen ho apɛ ano pomasibre na ɛna no pɛ baabi ade ani kyerɛ ye bɛyɛ economics kakra ni nyina no eye inflation ɛne sikasɛm ho kyerɛ ya abekuta oman yi ya enye Ghana nko wiase ama nyina na nso agya obi yesu a osu nani wanti ye bɛka oman Ghana mu asɛm ene yi inflation eye sika no na ho ɔden ene de etumi ye no wo de tu nsane ni career edo ho mabupanduonum enan ene akyiripo baako 54.1% ɛhono ena 2022 ye bewie afe no na yewura 2023 mu no na inflation no akwakoduro na 2022 year on year inflation no ekonanim papa enam sikasɛm ho kyerɛ ana abawiase nyina na Ghana Statistical Service bo amane sa edru 54.1% enam dollar no ahoɔden a na etwi fa yesidi ne so na sidi ne ntimi nyina ne nan so eno na amano ayesa ne nei ye the consumer price inflation ACPI eto ho na Ghana Statistical Service hwehwemu a wɔhwehwemu abeto abonten a nya kyerɛ January 2023 13.9% ena ensonsono a kyerɛ ebeda emu a epagya mu ekudu amane kudu 54.1% no na enei aban kuntabufo pani government statistician na oye Professor Samuel Kwabena Enim odi ato dwa free January ebesi December afi 2022 mu no ekwan na yesika na ho den ete kofomo no na ahomete papa enei Ghana Bank of Ghana na Central Bank no epagya ne benchmark value nim ekosoro ni nyina ye bosia se wukɔgye a de yɛde to so a yensi ho no aban ni pagya mu a na bank ni epagya mu a na kyerɛ sane abafom a banks nkuma ni nyina nso ankrankra kɔgye bosia sa pepepe ɛna ɛbɛyɛ ya enam so ma mpagya mu no na emfie bɛyɛ dunkuno no na yenhu sa mpagya mu bum kakraka sei ɛda ɛba yɛ no manfo bebre kasa ho ya yehu ne sɛ ama afi 2023 no yesi mu no yesi kasam no agina kakra wo de toto firi bɛyɛ September mu 2022 ba besi be December ni mu a nanso ni nyina mu no sɛ ɛno ne betumi aboa yɛn ananso so sɛ ɛkwan bi wɔ ho ya ebetumi afa na yɛsiesie no ma yie sɛ de bɛyɛ betumi aboa ma enoma a yɛtɔ ɛne de yɛkɔtɔn no yɛtumi anya so mfaso na yɛsika ne nso ɛho asɛm no de yie abusuafo yɛnkɔbɔ wɔ enti yɛbɛkɔ ahoma so na yɛbisa sɛ saa kwan yi a Bank of Ghana ɛfa so a wɔde tu anamon yi no so adwenya ofa ye na no an oda so kitam ananso so se ohun ya nka wanye sa ana bibi aka ya Bank of Ghana no betimi aye bibi afa ho a ebetimi di nsusuaso bi abro manfo titulu adwadifo ya omo de omo fa yen sikai no makose sande akọ hard currency ye ka hard currency a dollar ka ho pound sterling ka ho euro ka ho amansan sika China China sukurafo abie ekwan ya adwadifo fiase a enche ombesan akoro ye kwa homa so na yene owura Kwabena agya akonjeche ya wo kyerade wo Central University Accounting Department atwetwe nkoma bisa no se baby eduri benchmark value asem ebe mu ani inflation ni baby ehwikuduru ye no ye woni da so obi tituru se ye agya ye na maman so kosere se ye mfa ye bosia a ya boye ntete so na ye mfa nche yen misaja ko wo Oyerepa TV so ma che
ye nua menua ba
me pa cho ho na mu bokode
nyame adom ne mompa bo yeguso kakra
yede nyame ase ene yehwe yen inflation a 2022 no ekodu 54.1%. Na yesi ebisi ya che bebro beye mfie ko beye duonu nie inflation she dan course a ene yesi de no de toto the major trading currencies ho a asebe na wotwe enu ni de enkomo ni gina faako eno kra na ama ene ifu no ukọ pump ho a ya tete so kakrakra ya eboa ahyenkafo we nyina no hu ne sei
yo menua ba medase bebre wa akonya amode ama me mama ni kan fa sima bako emfa nchi ema motiefo ne mahwefo nyina na mama nchia be ho kani Mrs Vivian Jakoje echi ne me sofo pani Prophet Dr. Rick J CGI 26 February ne birthday me wish happy birthday in advance yehwe ye inflation situation na ewo Ghana na Bank of Ghana yo mafemu de that is Central Bank. In fact, we had 2023 general report on the buyer na omusi sudua say omo policy rate was true because omo try say inflation ebeba form. In the past you use policy rate are fighting inflation, which it helped. Why in the previous government use policy rate, and the policy rate no more increase here. The logic on I said the idea and abutaya away chain say central bank no policy rate was true. And banks in Kumane Kobosiano at a higher rate. And no sir, no Kobosiano. Then in that regard, say Anko and Jumaku Ekobosian through commercial banks in Honoma. Almost Bobosiano at a higher interest rate. Not just say the essence of policy rates in our caution is to regulate liquidity issues in the economy. So now sika circulating in the economy be reducing. Now the logic of inflation and say there is more currencies. Kadodo HAC fewer goods. And the central bank trimuponi there. Omo person omo ti sika regulate cost or money manase circulating in the economy So now we wouldn't have a lot of money and as be HAC fewer goods. Now, from our perspective, they are looking at only one leg of inflation. So far, inflation, there were two legs of inflation. There were the demand side of inflation and there were the supply side of inflation. Now, monetary policy, the demand side of inflation. But what about the supply side of inflation? In fact, with what that they are doing, it is working, but there is more they can do. Because the more are all concentrating on only monetary policy, how you increase base rate, Now you create what you call crowding effect. Now crowding effect, ebema njumekuo wachromo because omuntimi enkobobosia amodebeye ejuma. It will reduce their investment spending. And in the long run, it will cause unemployment. Ebema njumekuo collapse, which is not positive to the economy. And central bank the other leg of inflation, which is the supply side of inflation. Now supply side of inflation and say supply na eba in omaini and to me meet the demand. And the side there will be shortage. Eba ne sign a supply and to me meet the demand. The reason is our exchange rate. We buy dollars to import. And to the moment we are short of the dollars, or we can't have enough supply of dollars to buy or to import goods and services, it will also create inflation. And two sides, demand side and the supply side. The policy rate only deals with the demand side, leaving out the supply side. And I won't say a stabilizer kakra, and it's a good sign, a stabilizing because the demand side of inflation is being dealt with. But with time, other economists are projected say in the first quarter inflation and even Bank of Ghana in their first quarter report and they say at least inflation will get to its peak and now get to its peak after a best stabilizing economy and that will happen because they are not dealing with the supply side of inflation. Now supply side of inflation, what causes the supply side of inflation? And you might be to say natural disasters. A bit to say bottlenecks in supply chain procedures. Now, her natural disaster now, they be a finance minister and a banking for mobile almost say COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war. Fine, COVID-19 is a natural disaster. Russia-Ukraine war is also it will bring disruption in the supply chain. And there will be disruptions that a bit create shortage, which can also lead to inflation. And once they've identified that these are some of the causes, they begin in the region and said these are the causes of our inflation and our depreciation of the cedi. Now, if these are the causes there, then these are demand side inflation. And I say a shifting a focus on our attention a supply side of inflation. And I say almost shift to focus on from the demand side of inflation, which they are only using the monetary policy rates to deal with. Now, to handle or to deal with the supply side of inflation, have policies you be improve your productivity. That is one, because once you are importing, you keep importing. Once there is demand, once supply cannot meet demand, it will also bring inflation, which will collapse the economy in the long run. And aspect, you reduce your import, as I buy and have improved supply chain resilience. Because we importing German free, a mine do sooner in Tokwa and earthquake see some mine so, and because of that, they can't supply you with those items. Obviously, it's going to shoot your inflation high. And you know, and she share bayna a buying edigu akwemu so that we can tackle with also the supply side of inflation, not only the demand side of inflation. Number two, as I buying also the fiscal policy. The kind of fiscal policy we are looking at your taxes, any government spending, any the government in to stabilize the economy. Now, OSHA fiscal policy now, which your budget area finance minister 2022 now, you realize that your fiscal policy, it didn't really target government spending, how to reduce government spending. It only talked about taxes, and even with our taxes, there are a lot of spillovers. There are a lot of people who are not paying taxes. There are a lot of things that are not going on well in the informal sector. Now, World Bank, and so I can say Osha on my biana, or a lot of informal sector now. It is very difficult to control this. It is very difficult to use monetary policy to stabilize the economy. Every country that has shallow capital markets and has a large informal sector who concentrating on only the monetary policy, it doesn't really work well. And so concentrating on both monetary policy, fiscal policy, and also ensure that you are trying to reduce the supply side of inflation as compared to the demand side of inflation. And can you say inflation from one? I think unemployment across economic theory more. If you Phillips curve, actually says inflation unemployment ever from. And as inflation ever for unemployment but the issue of Ghana, it defies the economic theory of the Phillips curve. It doesn't hold because currently, government or the embargo and as a freeze ever to government sector. So what it means is that inflation is high, unemployment is going to be high. Now say your cost situation we must say then you free the bracket of inflation. Then we are going to what we call stagflation. Now, stagflation, another level, it shows that there is high inflation in the economy, there is high unemployment in the economy, and there is slow growth in the economy. And once you take your economy to the stage or the level of stagflation, it becomes very difficult to address it. And one year careful, because you need desperate measures in it, you will take certain decisions in the long run, it will not favor the economy. Okay, U.S. economy now, somewhere in 1970, they entered into such situation, and it wasn't a pleasant thing for them before they were able to get out of it, and they've learned their lessons. And to make sure I say, Philip Addison, that is Bank of Ghana, and finance minister, Dr.
Ernest Addison, Philip Addison, you are a lawyer, Dr. Ernest Addison. Governor of the
Dr. Ernest Addison. The monetary policy is championed by the Central Bank, Bank of Ghana, and the fiscal policy also is championed by the government, that is through the finance ministry. And Central Bank gonna have an independent role to operate. But currently, there is a little influence from the government on the Bank of Ghana affect monetary policy measurements and regulations. And fine, currently there's a little stability, but stability, we can say abstract stability. It doesn't hold water because when the fundamentals are not well checked, at March, April, then we will go back to the situation. We had December, and a clear example is December 2022. December. And we realized that fuel prices were reducing. We realized that CD dollar, are stabilizing kakra. And we were happy that prices of goods ever from kakra and it did Christmas. Now, right after Christmas, we realized that after the dollar and the CD, after now assign cost and we realized that fuel prices cost kakra, they went up marginally. And this is an indication that once you deal with only the demand side of inflation, you can only stabilize the economy at a particular point in time. But the supply side will overshadow the demand side to take effect, and we will now see it again, which is going to be a problem. Now, from central bank, they are only dealing with the demand side, with the assumption that we have a lot of cash. Scabebre, our economy, nima HSC fewer goods. Now, so my question is that the case? Do the citizens have a lot of cash chasing fewer goods? Is that the case? Among for bottom yenya product and goods ento ana anso product na ewo mining muno and so the demand na yehia na ana say anso dollar na de koto product no, we don't have the dollar, and because we don't have the dollar, we will use more cedis to go and buy few dollars, which is also a sign of inflation. Once you use more cedis to buy fewer dollars, it's the same idea behind all this small commodity. And
I think the explanation what the man is saying, Ghana for realizing, and also say akoso, especially from last year September, basically December, no more na dollar no namrika come adia be chimbia me mbisa esa na adwo ya na de na esie ya wo koda say adia be chinne figure na sesa na ye disika bebre kopɛ dollar keto abi eno ka ho ntina na ma ho che number your experiences
is one of and here one of the signs because say currency no depreciate drew and pen so bia o disika bebre enti another leg of inflation is when you use when the purchasing power of a particular currency is weak, and once the purchasing power of a particular currency is weak, or it drops, that it can't buy other things, it's also inflation. And he said, yeah, the cities will break dollars is a sign of inflation. That is using more cash to chase fewer goods. Now dollar is not in much supply.
I see.
Definitely it will shoot the exchange rate very high. It shoot very high. And no
hello, benchmark interest rate as semono. And no who come more so ne here man for pa. Esan say den business people and a business community. Yeah, what my Ghana mono, bebre na kwaji facilities or banks. And omo de aba abeyo munuma. Na okọ bank wo na interest rate no wo soro a ebe trickle down ono so kwaji a obehwe se obenya bank sika koto ne ho na wonya ne mfa so afiri na duma wo yeso esunsun so ne be ka me no mienu ya consumers a product kro no endi wo ye table so said ya na ye hu no na said na enyoman sitie na situation nye be between September and December mu last year no na ma ho kira ba na kasa ne bebre wo krom ana o manfo ka ho asem ene no is there anything I betumi any differently yenyina yemfa yeninko akoye say ya de na ye linear ye kwan ba akoso na yenyina ye nam ye ni avenues bi ye betumi ahwe say we anye yi plan A anye yi yemfa plan B so emra.
Okay, me never me that say bebre your main plan B is basically to reduce import. Send a very reducing import. I say abai no very strong and firm. No then she be say there are some commodities we can produce them in Ghana here. There are some commodities that we can grow them in Ghana here and use them in Ghana here. Such commodities, on for embargo for some time. Now the local industries, on empower onshore massing. We have rice producing companies that are growing up. We have oil producing companies in Ghana. And so investing in the private sector, because with this base rate, the long effect is that it collapses the private sector. And the moment you collapse the private sector, you are heading towards doom, because private sector is the backbone of every economy. Okay, US, Canada, most of the advanced economies now, or more empower more private sector, no more, so that it can hold the economy. But this is a situation now. Say base rate was sure. Say now untimi nkobobo se na kobobo sensi hu no eso eno kobobo hu bo sensi hu ne so a ade bi a ode ye no ebo no so ebe kosoro, and it affects import, it affects production even in the state.
And utie Yeraketi Hammond nkomo wo vetting appointments committee nanim na sama wo kan che say policy ne de yaye de ato enti de wo hoda na obedi akire de wo hoda na nso no yaye tonaton ene Ghana fo nyina business anipa ya ne say ibibia ye kraba virtually. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Ye wo bibia ni swade hunu bi ana ye woni da so bi tia wemu no e de ni betumi any differently.
If there can be light at the end of the tunnel, the government, I accepted the challenge. No, you say, look, these are the way to go. But the problem is our government, excuse me to say, is not a listening government, because there are a lot of policy think tanks, economics, almost show indicators. Almost every economic issue that is about to happen, we have economists who are able to predict accurately. Professor Bokwin, Mr. Andani, Alhassan Andani, they all come out with issues. Even World Bank has come out with indicators concerning the issues in Ghana. But I don't know. Can I say, especially when opposition also even comes to give their recommendations, because Ghana is being destroyed by politics instead of governance. Once we call it Amanyosem, MPP, NDC, in MYN, I say we need a consultative agreement. I say you're back together, a national consensus. No, be a to then we see going forward, how can we help the states, or how can the economy stand on its toes? Other than that, we will still struggle.
Mr. Kwabena Ejako Jeche, yadase papa no podi yako school nkomo na ede. Economics nkomo de ba ya no manage na nso ye bre no ayebe. Eja ye the time ne nam, o se sorry na dwuma foforo to aso eba. Yadase papa ye ko yanim da chi bi no. Nkomo foforo ba ye besan aba. Obeti ye nka. Ye wre chira de o Central University or accounting department. Ni din ne Kwabena Ejako Jeche. Abusuafo ye de Ghana tesen besi ha. Nkomo de bebre wo ho obetimi ato aso wo adwumam efie mu ni baabi a wonam bia essence economics ndi wo ye den ya efa wo ho sika da wo botom de wo de koto ene de wo koton no ni nyina no esikasem ya ye hwɛ sɛ oman ne nkyekere no ebeko yie ye de KB Vocational Institute aseda nso bema no wafa ye ho ka bi odwumadi emu wo se GS ni NVTI agye watom wo ye cake decoration, makeup artistry, cookery, ni pastries, floral decoration, fashion designing. We school yi ekira kwan ewe sofu asamai kuma se ya wo kwabare kese a sofu ha ya no offer 0246 949491 0246 949491 upese okosua ananso nya wo da bi ayiye bi party bi awaregie bi wedding bi na pese omoma yaduane ma wa mba be fa ni nyina aye ne kama e de atewanim midin de akrese do a me de Ghana tisen esi am sorry ama PSA lady the health and lifestyle abeto amoso.
Yeah, yes, I'm a munina chibium at the health and lifestyle jumadie so no so aba pa ho sema aduanan enum bitremu ade ama PSA ladi ene matremu ade ama no na wonim Oyerepa at 5 Oyerepa ba ye enya mfinhie enum celebration no ya niema bebri but ene your special package bi ye de bremo because Friday the ba no ano odin yes esopa if is obey shira ewom tie wo se ye ba ne ma hunu de Friday ekoso na wa be kan ye ho empene se aboa ne takra ne ma ne ye kese so Oyerepa so awo so bibrebe ya aye momoa hwa mo hwe yen tia mo tie yen tia ene ye ba be hwe de Friday nyame ya adoma ye but let you also know say nyame ya adoma ene ya ye ko konfanochi yes baby ba tan no deda no ne nkwada no wo no ekotwetu ebi no maka ma wo mo ebe ne den de ya no no efre Oduefour na sabere pina man mene menua ya ofosu echampon efre no achi we senior DJ and a planning committee or ka ho Oyerepa at 5 planning committee no and a menua fe ajwa powers na otonyi say yes power the dino ne honam se ajwa power na power no e woni mo so ampa abusafo na mo de saying yeah ajwa won say that bia de otia na otie ahun fe na da bia o blank sa oh wonderful wonderful yana echi ajwa boso wo ma ye hu
mami bio
wow
se men shedem kakra
achi Oyerepa at 5 Friday obi aye beye yen shase ne yenhwe ye shase ne ma ba ko mienu bi aye na fe yura efiada the show itself then e koso
nyame da CP bi se Oyerepa eba ye no infienu muni na a major year ye dey atoso ye imparting 5 years of imparting lives na wo share said Oyerepa ba ye beginning up to this time and normal radio radio show so for presenters and the DJs hold on the technicians hold the warfare ha there's a radio form so ama we are safe na nyina enye bibi the radio dey dua emu no ye dey so ama amanfo nti chance we say we have impacted lives so many nti say this item no etoso now share you made the initial say from on the 3rd of last month nyina ekohia wo animu bompai na hwe nipa dom e bae enya dance
na me hwe mo na me outside ba na say yes na me ni Ghana
that's right na hwe dom e bae a na say dance e pp from kasi ye kan adaje beboy na dwumedie no very very packed inti ya cheche mbebre na wo hwe Friday no on the 3rd no he said they kind no and on the 10th of Friday and so you call fruit see this call fruit no you call fruit say the be you free spiritual side no and e ba pomodin and you koda Oyerepa din so kire amanfo nti ye ko ni nyina na ye de na ase nso enemu obi a be hye bia ye damasio nti won say video ni ada omo show aside nyina ye na ase a ye de ma oni e twentwe
ye ko ball
is a ko ball
and a friend all night
that's right
all night no say no mo see asese no my because all night we are obi anu say ye ba all night or ba all night ye de no say na esite pa
ye de no ya ye no to the sense say Ewrade na nkasa na ye je bibia ma no ye kwa kode radiasi Oyerepa asida all night nti say 5 years na ye radia ye bibri amayen we covid need ye keka wonya na radia ye say ye 5 years ye see ye kwa kode radiasi na radiasi nye nkwa na ye be hyedem ye still yourself free we asia fa na nyina say ye nyina nyame aduma Friday be 7 pepe na nyina ye wo ho
anwumre 7
okay ye nyina ye kwa kode radiasi na asida no adwuntufo pii na eba
anyuntufo me de be ma
adwakra na ye wa sofo mu ba be di enim na sofo peni ba ko ye Reverend Dr. Douglas Frimpong Frimpong papa eba no evangelism ne nyame asem wadom so papa and ye sa wo evangelist Dr. Kwesi Donko ankasa ye papa the main man ankasa also no lead prayer topics are battle with quotation na at the end of prayer no won say bibia wura mu and yes our Reverend Kofinti the general encounter Encanta. Onunsu Jinamubi. Also, Onunsu no, it drew Monday to Friday. Already prayer topping, we say, Kabaya! Yeah. So, near cop. Yeah. Onunsu Jinamubi. Reverend Edmond Odum. Ojemre. Yeah. Onunsu Jinamubi. Onunsu Jina prayer top no, Rezi, I will say yes. Until we move out of war, and I saw Reverend Richmond Asamoah.
Sofa
Asamoah. We don't have friends Sofa Asamoah. Onunsu Jinemubi. And yes, our Reverend Maxwell Edusei. Onunsu Kokobombre.
Yeah,
Onunsu the ban and Kwanye Samodia. Onunsu
controversial.
Yeah. But apart from that, we say and was also one.
Oh yes.
But we are not person be can was and these are some of the pastors and they are so far you do more.
That's a free house of Onyina.
Free house of Onyina.
That's
right.
But my member address Minisaka all night today. Most yesterday by 10 o'clock echo. Yeah, the money about 7. 7 you call ya nyum to na mo chase ana sem pai bo na ye chase ya. Nyum to for no mo be dan say no na mo to what. Mo start for hen.
Enyum to na be di ka dia chase. Because se unim kra se sofu bia kra o be preach ana so obe ye adwuma gidigidi amanse nkyerene asia enum tuni na bi kwan. So what you say nti enum to na ye de be hyase ti enenye ye nko na ye be ba to fo ne doso but enye omo nyina na ye de omo ye ba but oba obo different chese anum to fo bebre na ye hyase 7 wan ye kra be hyase 6
say obi abetima to nyum ni bi
e mo 5:30 na wa ye ma
Mati se wu jiramu minya ba Mabel
oche jiramu miya minya be ma pani jakalolo
mi
oh yes. Isaac Frempong Agbi
yes
chese
kujasi
uncle baby I will be am chia why man ya me bo bebo mkutunti ma me ndika kwanya yi ti uncle baby I will be am chia nya me ya doma ni mtofo ni doso ye nyina ye kobom nya peja nyame
ade ba ko on na tia me pepa ye nwum to no on se to bi a edru bese 1 2 ha
ne ni peda
mo sasofu pritina ne kasa tenten obi abeda obi abeda yatia but edu sabre na edwum to no odi kakra fam ne nyame ampai bo kakra bam na da nwum to fam mo se all night na dey be chekwa na hu sa ade achi oh nice one but achi na me kano na no wa juso se next time mo yes ya mo fa many more for the mranwum to for no
many
more for ya wo ha
okay
many more for
this class will cry a musician
Christmas no me hu so to no
no
ba as o free king muka
ene de ya
na asa be gina mu
king no ko
was it all night the ya here fa
nyame adoma Barbara Sports Stadium on say udu Barbara Sports Stadium your main gate no the next one Heroes Park.
Heroes Park.
Honey, you quack Jumedi.
Oh, wow. On I say this can be any.
Oh, Debbie.
And that's all the vampire.
On say, yeah, in Casa, Ubia for correction. I said, baby. They say, Ubia, oh, the answer for white handkerchief. A bra, not be him. Now, Suffer, Debbie, I'm a say, yen to me, Caddy, Raddy, say, Brabby, and now they be mount. But the for Ancasa Oban for BBC when you say, Brady, all night or a pass that. All night ya me queen erade me busadie ni because ye ka dance ya pp free me bra ye chance ye pete mu mpaibo wani mu won ebe pem sa bere a odefo me ka sa dance ya pp free mu a enya senkoma o ma mu nya ogie breakthroughs o tutu kwani ade enti nyame adom o ba fa bibisi woni so erade me bei se ni si me ni so me dane nyina ma
yes na essential ni besi
abusafo Oyerepa TV na monigu so amohwe no way a health and lifestyle Oduefour and Maame Nyarko ediama PSC lady menim nuaba adwa power and afi yaw ofosu champon achi ene efre no o senior DJ e wa ha afia de wa oje payo chen no me yen hu bi oje pa but
senior DJ no on na Shabati
na senior no so o university senior lecturers be brebe do you senior DJ sa ye share Oyerepa at 5 all night ya nyame ya aduma efiada ye ewo Heroes Park Baba Yara Sports Stadium chenwa asokwa asem ena ye kan anwumre no so ne ya hyase adwoanom ene Mabel nom ne kwakujesi jakalolo me Frempong IB wo mu nyina de dwomto ye be kanya saa na se de echi kan ye no hwe honam ne oni padua do kra wo de ba all night na stay no asada na wo de bede Nyankopɔn na wo ba fa bibisi woni so se Oyerepa nya mfinhie nnum no de Oyerepa ya ma nipa bi ewo masetena mu wo mabraba mu eniema asisie ebi di adanse no Nyankopɔn me kwa aseda yi de ma me so ni adanse afisesen na de we wa ya ma me epono mu atoto emibie de asie emumie ma me na be ho nyame anim nyam tie to ensa fra obi bia se omra adwa ma me mra ho Heroes Park ene ya ade no abusa for wo hia sikatwe bia no ane o hanka chefele o ka sika ena o de ba
ko shempa bo tenten bia no wa obebre
brief yes ena ka me beru sa no se o man no de bi on mo ba no wa se ne hill tenten
dabi wenya dabi
wo mo ba
yenko party ye ni abre
ye da form
ye ni abre obi o asore bia wakọ saa adanse kura wunya bi enye bi kura no wakoma no kura no enye o de fa koma pabra se o ba be hwehwe bibi wo awrade ho na o de adanse e be ko
adwo ma me mra wa so in person se yenimo se show de o so microphone ma microphone so fio wo yi adwuma na hye nyame ni munyam e de na amanfo nhwe mfiri adwo ho nyame pa a Friday
emre bi me ko program bi na woman bi emoja tu na the one no can no say emoja tu be 6 years Wako hospital a mama ni nra enko enti that time na menua ba anitafi ni num bia ba de shimoja ti metonum ne sa enti meka choboy osabare ma yesu choboy to so huri choboy asana tade kra ye de etse okuja ne sana chese na moto kra ye de ate na wo ko washroom akwakoye ne hu va oso oduru na chese emuja etu
hallelujah
na etwa enoma bebre na awrade afa yeso aye ne aye aye ntimi nka me ka se me di bibia be fan ba ye that time na me boss wo radio station bia me pese me boni di na might be free wa side ho se wo bubu agu dem 10 years bibia be ye fa wi na me boss ye adwuma na otie program na me boss bonom otimi asori anante
ena beto kakra wa hansa no akọ abusa for me be ma adra to bibia be fine kakra na message etachire ni sen ene eye banada ye me mekra da na me so me kan onyame mu sai bibia be fine ene de amount adwuma adwo be tro no within 1 minute pe no de ase wa brabo bia no nyame nsiesie na enye fine
amen
adwo tumu kakra na ye hwe Friday de ode brain
osise wokuwa mankuni mudieni ho watiana nyami wo munti ebeyeye she mesi okunachi edi ebedi dewo onyami wo munti ebeyeye mesi eniema besisa eniema bedane onyi anyami wo munti ebeyeye eniema besiso eniema bedanyo nyami wo munti ebeyeye ana yemede wasi enyenya medinse ni freni beto shishe nyami wo munti ebeyeye wasi enyenya medinse ni ebubo benantio nyami wo munti ebeyeye
wonderful
ena ni wano
no
midi yesu achinu mishira mome midi yesu achinu yeshira Oyerepa fo yedi yesu achinu ye ni munyama moye yedi yesu achinu yeshira ana yemede osikani na mebire osuni arewo adwindwin ko dadankoa osuni atiti enkoa na su yeshia yesu no ye ni munyama moye yedi yesu achinu
yeshira moye adwa no we yanketwa ayanro Friday na obeto di kona nkasa no oso microphone mu a worship praises are praises ebia
ye be ko ni nyina bi
ntino
be be style bi ye be ko worship praise me to bi obi onim bia me to bibia ye be ye bibia
yes
awoyo nyina ye be so
enye ono nko na eba one nyimtofo be se nwotwe keka ko du na eba na ye nyina so na wonim Oyerepa adwuma efo nyina ye ne aye prepra ha ye ne aye siesie ha TV radio obi eba bi ye nyina obi eba all night na ye ne ye dia so ye ne ye dia ni ama ode hyankwa asa akwa adwane enti ye no nyina na e ka bom se efiada de ebo no nsonfo ne kire Heroes Park ewo Baba Yara Sports Stadium asokwa na ye ne me bompa ye o ka sika no handkerchief nkwa na wo hia na ye nye ye de ko de nyina na ba wie ye achi mame ma just 10 seconds then I'll catch up your phone na
dey make catch a tea for your phone na say say the me kan no o ba ka BBC we ni so
that's right
na ka hu say unfiri ho no Oduefour enye nkomhye
yes
but that's what I sense in me unfiri ho no na de wanya no afia when we're in 2023 on there's going to be a great change in someone's life after the program. If they make a oh they say wo car wabusuafo ni nyina ene nkwala ni nyina so bi so oben obetumi de na atena kan ma fa ne bra asofo ekoko ni de keka fan clubs ahodo obi organize car no family buy your arrangement for that it you say obi be wo bia e ma all night empa ho
yeah that's it Adwa 10 seconds
me pa cho de make a church here for nya ne say brana be yinshra obi bia ne ho a odi gigi akonya kopon fie ama okoye ne se de odi koye no asade abada enti fa gidie ani gie ne fa be hia ye na nyame ya doma Friday die me say wa hwehwe bibia hwehwa wu ya Friday ubehu saade no Friday nyame ya doma me se ubehu saade ti brabeka ye nyina ye ho na ye mpegya nyame ye nyame kese na ye nyankopɔ kese wia osu ubehu de awade be ye
Reverend Dankwa sofo o kirade so KSS or say Friday is joining us yes Reverend Dankwa Reverend ye da se papa ntino abusa for anopay health and lifestyle no ha na ye demo sie mon ka me ona me fa se da ma menua adwa power na yaw ofusu echampon achi osine DJ ewo Oyerepa TV Oyerepa FM Oduefour nana asabere pinaman eni emitremu ema PSA lady ka say efiada anwumre nonso ye hia ewo Heroes Park asokwa Baba Yara Sports Stadium na all night no Oyerepa at 5 ye de abremu Christ asobien nkamu nyina
It's just some 7 minutes after 8. Once again, good morning. Welcome, baby. OBT agenda. That's our public first time agenda. Bidi at the Kwesi Parker Wilson or from the Parker. I just want to pay your WhatsApp plan here 0322497263 0322497263. You call Facebook up or you live on Facebook. I want you to be part of the conversation because and there in common very very important. So of course, we talk about Katie Amon, Brian the Champion, and then Asabi, that is a small button, Omoko Veteran and Dra. Now, one critical issue, Koso and that. I'm unfortunate than Tiasia, obviously, Hamatan, a double track. December, January, and Hamatan back a crack. A call, you do Valentine, we pay Hamatana Samba Beam. Because if you have Valentine, they Hamatana by bad. Yeah, the answer na canon. You need penny for and a bekasa. Now penny for. I'm say why we are having a matana this season. Time bay and now the last day, and then of course, dinner yenye el faho. And then I pay Mesaka a year, Mr. Kwame for Yajaman, or yeah, district meteorologist Ewo Asante Memo Kumase. Mr. Yajaman, I come on a pay.
Paka, Brothers Yano pay, Major.
Now you are calling your Zajuman.
Oh, send me a mouse. And it's the energy no I was through. Didn't feel no.
Pepe.
About my battle. And then some Ghana for the past 5 years. In fact, you have amazing listeners. And so international or you're taking a year. They are not at the end.
I said, yeah, that's it, Mr. Jiman. Now, quickly, Hamatana Cyber, I'm not for say a year double track. A call and I say a bar. But why we having Hamatan at this time? Because like a February day, I can't even say Hamatan and can in a junior home. Why don't you know Hamatan at this time?
Parker Medase, Maame Nyarko Oyerepa FM, Oyerepa TV, and phone a telephone and then I'm okay. Will be when you break and the Parker. You may be on your good upon so. Which was exclusively and they are by the natural and come away a wound here. Parker a crack, say what do na it trim say Hamatano as our double track. Now, I mean, train the donor again in CB so. I just made sure my guest is on the set. Anka Parker, you know, and can't system. And Hamatan, the December, January, and Kano,
Pepe.
After the come out for no tie. Especially with Slim Cardia, in fact, a near A9. I even say cacao, yes, I see whom cocaine is just not just in fact, I've written another idea. And so we are for the past 5 years, Parker, December Bosumi Muka, not just a Monuku Machina in Soto.
Exactly.
After we cry, after football. You will say General Bosumi, February crime, you will say in Soto. I just say, and from them person, now I say many. Not just a real as the son of Bobre. And the Pacani, Muno, Yabaka, Boniface climate change. I just say, what about 1 year PSC, 1 year? I Yemedi, Como Yen, the two said, oh, my penny, I'm going to Kaniana if you have to go now. Climate change, that they are a real after son of Bobre, Nissu and then New York, I just say, I'm not saying the same way that is here. General Bosman, you must have no pie, and for my Ebokayana, you, I just say, Rob name and corner by lip gloss in Asiapoda. I say, would you have one Slapana a pen foul? Then Korea, you won't say February Bosumi. For the past 1 week, you won't say Hamatan were unity. Not in Pimpin on Cafe where Bosumi or relaxing. Then, Mono, as I said, a real African Bobentino, or now you feel poor rescue, you want you say. And Famana, a poor Sahara Desert, and I said, a senator, the Casa, a senator, the northern part of Africa, right? In the Sahara Desert, and all the Timutima, it's a Cate across all sectors of the northern way Africa. I just say in Futro, and Mayana in Pimpino, and Woho. Now in Futro, and Wohana, and Famana Bar, not just a Pia Bar, not just a Abaye memoir. And so for the past 1 week, they're calling to them, in Futro Yaman, the woman, so I just say, we don't want just and Ayana, and then this I just say, Ninamono, and woman, woman, so and Famani Piana, that for the past 1 week. wo pia dodo na eba ya ama hamata no ano ayede enti ne beka te paka ya climate change dey the moon sense
and the right now Mr. Furajiman, I have been reading my current kakra from Australia more to say Hamatan we know I'm say a different from the other Hamatan and you know more say a crass and as somebody got to Eddie Maya in Asanka, Bayanka, Yesha nose marks. In the ocean feeding me. My interest, I mean, how is this Hamatan different from the other Hamatan you in the past?
Pakamedasi, say a tweet, Tambiana, make a sapa, if you want to one with 2 medical. This says will be based at the Yansons near a woman, Manchester or chef the past years, and I say 50 a chef more than to 2 America the way a different. And Okana came in Sanka, Tambiana made and Yoma is 50, our young Memuha and I am a day of Hafon. As I said, do Tambi Paka, it do bad almost in so top, it do bad and so top, it do Mintina and what do one at him. And so this time around, bad day, the Hunter Hamatan, way unity. That's from Esan said the blue star Brenna city mid February apply movie no open anymore. Not just the also Bunum after sister she said not just we you foot on film and so they are there whatever P them moving foot on and we film kakra now so no a few way you will say February go some what pay movie no na afena Hamatano ano ayedi ni na ka say the bidi can be too ja so we Qatar uko Sudan uko Niger Mali and then Konkra and one of one. That's just a whole football war. Then, you know, after when you say, in football, a piano, I said for her moons and from my airborne honor, and not say a piano in football no ever. The sound from away, I am on Yemeda, on Twashoda, and no ama happy way. I get different from another, and that's from Ko, for the Toto and Kia is careful now. That's just a sound football, I'm not whom to say no. Kanya the woman homeless watching. For a short period, I just say in the course of the weekend aircon, it was so relaxing. Now a bread after kaka. It's not just a for any of the idea any weekend in your who you go weekend na paka, I'm not better. Now I'm not better no interest in so the shot just a talk. Na empempe no makasa Hamatano e wo mu a wotimi traffic why e wura mu match bosumi no early match and sana mununkum ka asa sese hyehyɛ etita pepepe na wo hwɛ ne meeting mu a e wo mu a yenya situations we February bosumi no adi December early January wo fama e wo Amatambo no wa diafa asese this year so no what down no wedia what do you think to master on the January Mahamatana or no so the meaning I am from airport desert
into ocean Mafidi anymore that bang and Hamatano ebeko or say a brass that is very weekendy but air cocrade a baby that bang
me the two young man muha na especially you come at the ha Actually, the park you come at after another country within Denver, and after what gun and thing, you could see an afford there. Your parents are Hamatan ever brass, and after a bit from Mukutia, not just say, Yakamu March. I could do first week of March, a Kamuno, and the people say Hamatano, and no Abras, the people say Mununkum, as she said. Now, Uko is still with the Amachas, Hamatan, the best me as far to 3rd week of March, and that's just a March Bosomeno. Now watch a tossum and Sadia, and honor me a very more say, or more is still no. Hamatan, a bit from Mukuti, a Okumase, there was Santimantem, a Primantem, or more Mokuti, or more Western North, or more Bono is Bono Aha for dear. The very more say, now watch here, the big kind of match Busumino, and query any day, not just Hamatano. Wabrasia, or better, just what the Mununkum, she said, a baby one. Whatever you not just one home, I tried to obey the Kuku. In Ponuma, Busumi Kano, Wokumatiani and Seven to do. Apart from say, one a real and then soon or back in the door. Name of no more and afford it. Now watching you know, El Canadian, not just or better, they say, or more great Taka, or more central, or more western. Okay. Mr.
Frajma, Jasmina, my Yashofo and Shadibi. And I'll ask you a direct question on that. air quality and pollution city ranking. Meaning say what who said there now. Okay. It's ya chefo na omunya hu ye no mame project mo now omonhwe because we be say a question about wearing of nose masks. Now, we share ranking now. Green that's no say good. Yellow moderate. But we say orange unhealthy for sensitive groups. Red no unhealthy. Move color no very unhealthy. And the other color no hazardous. Now we share the ranking now. Ghana yene edikan major city Accra Ghana 389 5.5k followers and son about Delhi India wako Pakistan wako Bangladesh wako Mumbai any China ne ho koneba na bibisa say air pollution be I mean together with Hamatan no they don't want to say yes nose masks Hamatan no is it a contributing factor and not Kahubi and a Ghana yenya sa air pollution the whole world we are seeing now they can Hamatan Kahubi ana
Pakameda say I am a project Amado na air na Jamaica afa huni Mr. Air pollution ya can't input for another Hamatan yasama yen mean can be set a camo ni na me say Paka yen say ya wobusumi bi o ha ye memo Hamatan tebia wo tasi e me de o ya de December January February anya kwa ne ho popo ye beba input for beba o man mu it's na projecting we that institution we ye Hamatan no anya contributing factor
okay
Mr. Curtis say ya sha Hamatan ba be di muntinti ma north north de edu yenim ta Hamatan de edu a omona in fact is transform na kase eba omoso esa say emfaman de ka du wo pa ansa na ye wo Ghana nfinfin ansa na kudu anafo na ya hwe ranking we so ya hwe that ya omoka wantem Accra
right
not just Accra de Accra nsuka no me no ka se kwa Hamatan kwa wa brate na me did this projection omo ye enyene instruments on the measure and on install it and on
19th February and according to air quality and population city ranking and 19th February and then 21st so that is 2 days ago
2 days ago
exactly
2 days ago Atanya Canadian I said Hamatan no any serious contributing factor Nina ne say is still come ka Hamatan or me by say north anase wa ana poga baby no ano ayete anase eni enyaya enya beka se sanya no kind na chese mfuto no edimu tintima yanyina nim se mfuto 2 days ago after me mfuto Ghana ka baby ano we hwete anase we bia sede a chese no for de we dimu tintima entine sa project we no we dia na chese Hamatan no contribute kwana contribute little anase kakra bi esa san Nigeria nyina no ta Hamatan we omunya bi Yakob Togo, Hamatan way, a biwo, Yako, Benin, a West African countries in the Nimzado, Hamatan, a bistro also. It is a greater account of Mokadia, not to say Hamatan way contributing less or little or no in terms of say or model ranking way account. It's not just say, Yashanswa, Paka. Yamramu answer open one of the dirtiest cities. Ebi say Accra. We say senior the Ekoto, Kolela Gu the Biania can want them the senior the Ekoto Inano. Ube Rokunme who have the Tabi and can't say Bia Papa the moment can any Proyania the war Kramantum sending in our account and contributed to this ranking. Accra, a baby kind, Nanya Hamatan, not say Hamatan is Hamatan in the Tembiano, Yenya, I say, account one is demoted.
Okay, Mamma, it's your frontier says air pollution, and yet a future in Canada. A friend say, we see if we can't turn or sound we say Nino, air pollution. Yes, she's in my heart. Nina air pollution.
Yes, you say my bad. You got that
exactly. Nina ena eboa no ye air pollution no te yen futu no kwa na ye koi mo se yen share eye no sma because in future no be ba eye chrome o final works to ye ya hwe form hwe no pe futu ben ena do ma omo ka yuma kan kra na ombe ko school ebi be ko ye penifo be adwuma and all of that afutu ben ena do mai
Paka medase nkan futu we de ubeka se nkenye na emu no apomudin enti no ya hwete se dum futu fa na ene mfama eboye futu na mu obu ho especially asthmatic patients ene ye do sabria your rampant diseases like catarrh any cold amata de ata Yareba we de yama etawuti paka obe probi no apeti ose yes yes ni sane finabo kata me futu na akoni mu no na masa susanso we abantu tia betre mask no obi wo ha we allergic to anase ni nipedia no nyati futu fe na chete ne yare aba especially asthmatic patients enti ni agba chete those mask no wo ha wo hume yare mu hume anase hume mu yare a that's the wood nose mask and what they are born by. Come. Now, you know, Paka, you himself have been with Yoma Aya Risty in so good from Enyamet. Not as in so good for Macadia. Yoma Risty is just a 2 more, not as a ship. If you Tabia, you take your 4, Tabi is still a boom more for son or Mubusudo. I am Pam Art at all. It's an ocean, not as a 1 year, what to tell Yoma Kama, why your farm bell. Wabo is done on by computer besteri. It's an say Hamatana, medical cafe, so any real case. Senate to be biao. It's almost a judge of what you might be a Paka or Mubena Arie am I. Ebium, Adeba Paya Game Corso, a cigarette smoker. Okay. Cigarette smoker, best friend. More or Mumia, Manasoe, and not just a way down, or making sure what in I pass to back to me when it says to ya betre family ya send your ma aye we see so nyangu for me there ya betre all the two making sure so what do no complete and stand our movie ni nyina mu no kusichafo no paka kusichafo no edu nyoma bi se edu sa time bi se o so na afi na o so dwumadi afori wo kwoti kusie wo bo kusie no mu papa na abo ni pay na ho eja no be wi ache no na se akoto obi ekom na no so edempi aba pamoy tapeso mo de ensa eyo mo dwumadi ni se eja esini na aka kosi so obi odi eja di ni dwumadi bia sa be ye bra e wo se ahweye ekoma no na yenim se paka mfuto wo wie mu yenim se enuabenduane ewo abonten asujafoi ya onadua na obedi na bonten ntini abetere aduane tonfo efuto na wo wie mo fo ani mu demom na ate ba akwa wo be me wo do fon to na se wo bie mfuma to untwa nko ani komasi mabia sa wo ma na o center table so na wa konya so na mfuto wo so na se mfuto e wo wie mu amfana wo ni na onfam enti abetere aduane tonfo na mo nkipi mu aduane mu ye ana se mo nkata so me abetere time ni sabi abestra mumbo modiane no ho bai ema omo betobi na emeto ningina mie wo bia bebo ho apaka ye nim se bia bebo ho ye sabi ye sensene ami adi ebi ne apo ni sensene oma ya bestra ningina no onso ta na wa wo furu ho wodi nsu a sene awo furu ho very important sabi abaka that is ensem we nyina e wo ho a wo se ye de ye de toto akwam ansa na sutobe no kwa asase na paka mi sisu bi you do ne chance na so ayemre is also better that go bobom no bekan ya isu to be na start from a jump through the diakiri no afa na no obebi sapaka Mr. Umfemi Sanjaman can be San Mamre say a fine quenya or what it's about me that's one. Every day who will be or chance that's one. This is the time. I will make me a tutunina above of and sana to Tobeno. And that's it. I just say, Minina Bukano, Yenim Tapaka, Sabi, a real mind sick. Na ewe mu ayesem ebeto mu akopem match bosome no akwawie match ne bosumia emu pa wo de toto bosome mu nyina de hotest ma na ye match bosome it's not just a free there e bi be free pa from now e there ensuo there e was here numbi na de sheme kadua ne mokena it is up to way na ya futu a be straight here for so mundi so answer na to top no especially ya gas na ya titimu e to top. What team one day is what on that and Yoma Juma way in a fire cost 90. It's this is the time. What's the gat anymore? That's what clinic got and won't come in so far much as the end of the upper. And my man to top any instance and not a scene and the Korean. na nsuo yi na me ka se nsuo a etoye na eyi na mum eyi fia adopro ye no na ma no fa identify ka afuto kaka ye de be ma etiefo oba ye se hamatan eyi ne ti kaka obeta ti adam ebi no
Kwame Oyerepa, the better as another pay. Yeah. For Mr. Kwame Oyerepa, a district meteorologist. I was some meteorologist. Oh, kind of one kidding, what can't touch them. And that's what can't send me a yanka. Intinana simple metro district metro Kumasi Kwame Oyerepa. Na key takeaways omamutendi and me pacho ya munkatamudiana no so and the photo number mom waka me pack car see within 1 hour we bana photo for hunyina. It tells you say that particle is in the air on farmanim and the nam it in say yanhwe ya e bedi photo nko a indwane bi so wa ase na okay no in shada and apple for example like apple for example and obo otami ya no kwa kodi there say or a when be a microscope I did now the shadow particles a apple no temperature more yes and munjai more apple no come and sana medi most more teben dusty areas and more them amount for them because be na them food tronko and look as food tronko on paper and also beboa why it's these are the information I want mamo and then no smarts on I will be here. So now you can come on one kind of air pollution. They say very interested. I still don't understand how Accra at the decline, the whole world Accra at the decline, and some wako Dubai that is 208. Wako Pakistan that is 184. Bangladesh 180, and then again Mumbai in a year. India 177, and these are cities. Where cities no you can't watch them. And your country cities no, and then where they are in Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek, and the Twatwa so what it's mom one kind of year in Pacho. And some measure we pa because Selena make kind of earlier no we bring out respiratory disease. Sa no man e call me our lungs mu e say our lungs no we bring out respiratory disease. E bia ende won sheda ho tunso no ende but in the next 5 years 10 years na fe yare bia bowa sa ade we sa air pollution we and na masa yare no e dia about you know we have to be very careful when we are dealing with some of this situation. In terms of I had a day a year metro come on no ebesi na fe ye remu on the sea and dra our parliament KT Hammond a year Brian a champion and yeah papa no run for chairman that is Asamoah Boateng Dona friend Asabi na before Rebecca KT asem no mbese na mo hwe video you remember vetting the other one but mo de we for shege reasons mo hwe sa video we KT video we mo hwe na na wi na ya kan ho asem just to lay the foundation and the premise for ebia ne conduct yesterday mo hwe.
The road has security implications. I am pleading that we will take the Highways Authority to court. The road has security implications. I am pleading that we will take the Highways Authority to court.
So that is the man, yeah, His Excellency Nana Adodako Gufa. Me guess question, obviously. We will have to see why I died of it. It was a fakama. It's that was KT Hammond. That is the man, yeah, of Mampedi, His Excellency Nana Adodako Gufa. Well, you know, say on the your trade minister, yeah. One of the MPs, Kobradonko, or your press conference or parliament or for your addressing the media. How KT Hammond, like, we are the whole big the chisel with Chidana or Katadeni. So that is the man for you. It is a the conduct no now we are well justified or not justified. If you say one for committee is serious. If you say the understanding of the trade ministry no our form, but there is one critical issue I become which is about a year and a law article 94.2d. Article 94.2d. I say we are gonna now we are no be a tia abino interest and now bino boka abino elusi bibu obabia we sign the patron we ultimate general for public office we are mamboini it's ultimate for public office be in shawansa e be the shawansa the more mining sa esifom it's that's that constitutional injunction they say e ba bada kiti so the better ones and not pay. But of course, once again, I welcome my guest in the studio, Kuma, or a lecturer, or a master, and counsel, William Kusi, lawyer, there for you. Therefore, you're welcome to be part of the show. We'll shake it someone and drum. Were you satisfied with his conduct, the answers? Then you know, but a champion so how candidate, and then Asabi. I think Asabi was fantastic for me. I mean, my own personal observation. The questions may be sound on how you handle the questions, the position on gay rights. And I can't the position was clear. He's against it. Or clear. When he didn't mince words, he is against it. Okay, no. Simple. Without mincing words. It's 0322497263. 0322497263. That's our WhatsApp line. Send your messages to the mechanic in Ediama. Oko Facebook app or your pan live on Facebook or your pan live. Oko Facebook app or your pan live for comment to the Google mechanic in Ediama and that pay. My main shall say with Mr. Aaron Kumaso. Lokuma, meaning send out to me Akunya Eshe KT1 Kakra. Great. Your general observation about the whole veteran questioning the answers, the conduct of the committee members on the conduct. Who want to say?
Me that's it. My main chair Afro. Main chair Amstead for you now.
Right.
Now I mean kind of say as usual Kitty Hammond. Say the old show you say no go.
Every day wait a minute Sakaya. Will be all why it's just to lay the foundation. Just to lay the foundation.
Immediate. Or no the jovial way of answering questions no many surprise normal and natural and the woman say we share adwuma no ni susu ye say the obetimi aye but almost say sometimes ayana vetting interview ayana tell you a deceptive
vetting in the deceptive one
we obetimi call interview obey say bia obey correct. Ubeka say only first na the adwuma na man.
But application of the job.
But I do job na.
I ask him. Okay.
Make I say you will invest Japan Motors for Omoba School of Admin every year some discussion with us about job opportunities near there. No say they don't consider class. They look at so many features of people before they employ them. But because we are now or pass. But the human relation and the equal man who mountains say, Juma, the Jana, obeying. And the me who say, Katie Hamono. Well, being Nimno as nearly trade background or a lawyer by profession.
A lawyer by profession, yes.
And the good side of lawyers.
Political science, the
good side of lawyers, they say, you know, the nature of their training, they are more or less like they learn every bit of everything. Ujano say or maybe within the shortest possible time. With me Siandiano at Tiasie aye with ease because of the training of them because almost good in reading.
Right.
And it taking a shorter time to learn on the job and then get it right.
So the concerns by and Rani say Sebi committee no one fact any di Anshada Mama and by extension on Fanny Dia Magana for. I say not that they need Diagra. At some point, Kwame Abuja had to tell him, say, Mr. Man, be serious and answer the questions. You are not joking here. He and Diagra.
Say usually the attackers has a familiarity breeds contempt. And then say or no fan say or no muna parliament.
But this is vetting. I mean,
I don't know why
or minor you are
here. Part of nature. Oh no. What should I careful? And maybe nyana. And Ghana format any other was omutise gubi.
Oh, and no kind. And no can he still maintains his position that or minor and maybe need to be mine money.
Ah, say it is a gubi. No kind I don't call I mean, who say AI is somehow part of his nature.
Na say the power no betim yakọ trade ministry, a very sensitive ministry like this.
Oh, trade ministry in there who say an American catch on say media the minimum say adwuma de obi ho no ma okọ ba bi ne kubusa and questions untimi nya de ba wo de adwuma ne say ne sa obetimi aye.
Okay.
Adwuma ne form. He has been a deputy minister before.
Right.
And I believe, say, with experience or war and any background as a professional lawyer, no, I hope, say, also to me, me kakra, among for come, me no money, I say, almost or no sticker. For the same, but it doesn't matter.
The two extreme ends.
Yeah, they can.
I mean, they're very emotional, very passionate about
issues. They can work together. The answer, so we're minister. And now we are deputy. And yes, I will share positions. The constitution clearly define who a minister is and who a deputy minister is.
Right.
And to me, not very sure say he's going to challenge him or do anything otherwise.
Okay.
Let's hope and pray. Say stage now you will is here. Obetimi ayedwuma Ghana etimi anya a turn around.
Council. Katie Hammond, member of Parliament for Dansasaka constituency in Ashanti region, and no converting. Who they say? Well, were you impressed?
I wasn't impressed.
You're not impressed?
Exactly.
I see.
I wouldn't say anything to me. I didn't
say you're not impressed. Why are you not impressed?
The response is, I thought he could have done better. As if he wasn't prepared.
A bit said here, which I'm a specific example be now. To one specific question, maybe, son.
Insight about
the trade
ministry and you see, when you go about speaking about the ordinary, the OBR can be there. Maybe I can't be impressed about something that has been said 1,000 times.
But that is not out of the norm because what's say policies who are that associate God that he is trying to just implement it. Alan has been there for 6 years.
What are you bringing on board differently from what Alan did? Is here all the way. Something out of the blue. You get it? I bet you because there's something in this man. That's what I was expecting.
But
to me, he spoke about and Okasa says you know exactly. I mean that is that's why the consensus say Oba vetting. At least that was so born we or Kasa say so or ending the statement and sound like the next statement so exactly. It's sign money now say it's in a max visa no but so for serious he's been around and complacent kakra so he's been around you be interview say Odiba Bands no akọ because he's been in there while minister that parliament was show controversial issues are for the Nimbia for the Chi, and they be taking him for granted. But as a matter of fact, Ghanaians are expecting new faces with new ideas.
And Osha KT,
he's so familiar.
He's so familiar.
Yes, you see, I mean, there are other people in this country who are very brilliant and sharp.
It's to be fashion, but there's no need to know the bad board.
So familiar. Let's look for people. Look, Brad Champa Utiena. It's quite interesting to hear him.
Yeah, I think it was very. I was amazed.
You get the point.
I was amazed.
And so you should look at that from that point of view and see, no, this man KT is not going to be different. We need
extraordinary.
Exactly.
But we be doing extraordinary people to turn things around.
Think because. Baby, I want normal.
Yeah.
Normal times. It will be here. Be a over to me. Then you have for Abama near Master business as usual. I didn't see that in KTM.
No, but no mistake. Once you make some point, we say, "Yeah, veteran no." never ban but the application of the job.
That is true. That is also true. And in that wise, we can look at it from the point of view of how he has performed maybe an hour before. Maybe if it's a one cardinal thing that we are losing as a people is discipline and principle.
Okay.
Maybe minister I'm recommending minister maybe be principled. Because you don't have to have all the ideas. It's a ministry. The policies are there.
Technical directors,
you are only impacting leadership to make sure that those things are accomplished.
Right.
And leadership is more important than these ideas that we are talking about. And it's a KT. Maybe I want to mean discipline. Then he might be a good minister.
Okay. These are the preliminary comment from the guest in the studio this morning. Now, Medinkaka said there's a constitutional injunction. I say, video way. Al Hassan Suhin, the member of parliament for a year, Tamale North, Tamale South, North constituency. Tamale North, I don't know South or North constituency. It concerns about some Makaya drillship on some Okoton, a year drillship be Sikasemne woman. And said that we pay a bisa. Or is this our concerns? You take reactions. I need the questions in the bar. We'll go into the constitution. Not fee lawyer waha, Mr. Kumawaha, not on my chair. As to whether the nomination, no, probably a bit suspended and also a bit me a film. Video number.
I'm not sure what he's reading. Is it his own printout or this is the government, whatever? I don't know what he's talking about. Let him give us properly what he's talking about. This is the first time in my life I'm hearing what he's talking about. So let him give us the documentation.
Let's make it clear. Yeah. Did you appear before any such commission?
I did, but
did the commission make any such finding to your
absolute balderdash? No, Mr. Chairman.
What did you say?
Mr. Chairman, no.
You use the word
Mr. Chairman,
which is totally unparliamentary.
Mr. Chairman,
please withdraw that.
Because I take the view that...
Please withdraw that.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to you, yes, I take it out and then say that...
I asked you whether they made such a...
Mr. Chairman, no, there is no such findings about me.
Okay.
But that's the point that Mr. Chairman I'm making, that if he's reading something from his own...
Don't worry about that, please.
But Mr. Chairman, I think you would also be conscious of the fact that colleagues we are, but orchestrated calibration of stuff like that.
I asked you a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Your answer was to me.
Thank you.
If I felt offended,
thank you.
And I asked you to withdraw it, you have withdrawn.
It wasn't directed towards you, Mr. Chairman. You realize that, but it's withdrawn. No, that's long withdrawn.
At what point, for example, will you ever consider resigning from a public office?
Let me make a point. Mr. Chairman, for about 20 years now, this particular subject, I would explain something. This matter has been making all this. I've never said that I do not know about the drillship. That's not the point I've made. I've never said that I've not appeared before an appellate committee. I have not said that. What I've said today is that I do not know what he is talking about, because that has never been in any publication. As far as I'm concerned, it isn't the Apple report is read out there, and it is no other report that is talked about. You see, the difficulty about, you see, it's no reflection of my colleagues. You guys should be a little careful. Mr. Chairman, when a report like this is presented to the government comments on the back of the report and not to make its own findings. That part over there was an addition by the government which had no reflection in the report presented by Mr. Justice Apo.
Which company purchased the drillship? And do you have any relationship with the company that bought the drillship?
20 years I've lived with this. I know every bit about it without going back and forth. This matter has been before the sole commissioner.
Sorry, that's the question.
Yes.
Do you have any relationship with the company that bought the drillship?
No, Mr. Speaker, no.
I could see that you lost your temper at one point. My question is, as a minister, you certainly be provoked if approved. Will you exercise the patience to do the work as required
by the Constitution. For many, many years, I joke a lot. People think that all I do is joke and all of that. I believe in proper human relationship. What I can't stand is when consciously somebody tries to play diabolics with me. I can't stand it. So that is what has ignited this in me. When we started Chief Whip, I was laughing. He warned me it's national television. I shouldn't joke and all that. I think that life is too short. We shouldn't be so serious about everything. That is why I always am laughing. My relationship with people is solid. I believe in it. But nobody plays games with me. What the honorable member tried to do was not fair. I'm prepared to tone down my language. Every single thing that he said was not in the report. Every single thing he said was not in the...
Yeah.
Thank you. I would contain my temperament and then I would relate beautifully with everybody.
That's the assurance I was waiting to hear. So thank you.
So just a quick background. Dress ship no na GMPC dia. And I got Tony na Ghana buying Edinkophobia SG company be more fans na di omo ka. Na say de court or London. And I would say to about $47 million at the moment. Kufa buying that was 2001. Something like 2001, something like you. And now that time I came on a deputy minister for energy. And now you share me say, one corner, one can say no. But that Kufa buying in a HG company no. It can say a bit 19 million. It's in a $90 million no. A Kobana says Ghana. Yes, so you pay Sika. Nedekotua and a GMPC for dress shop no the casa kete won konkoton ntiedi won koton na afisika na obenya no on fenche nkofonika okoton ye ampampa onya $24 million. That means what's 19 from $24 million more ebeka almost about 3.something million dollars na 19.5 or something $3.5 million so $3.5 million the whole and some no ebusafo what should government white people na yaka ho asem ya I'm say 3.5 no Sibia KT Hammond yes canon omania nje ho. Now I'm going to read verbatim what's in the report. Now lawyer waha won waka ho asem but before that moment kan article 94(2)d no emamo na muntie or say a person shall not be qualified to be a member of parliament or hold public position if he has been found by the report of a commission or a committee of inquiry to be incompetent to hold public office, or is a person in respect of whom a commission or committee of inquiry has found that while being a public officer, he acquired assets unlawfully, or defrauded the state, or misused or abused his office, or willfully acted in a manner prejudicial to the interests of the state, and the findings have not been set aside on appeal or judicial review. And very important. Say committee corner, ya boko you know. Say what as an individual, say one from court and can challenge it. Na sa statement and answer conclusion no still remains what sign it akrono wuntimi hold the public office. Even as a member of parliament, wuntimi be a member of parliament. In the case of KT Hammond, it was for what can white paper now, and it is very simple. Or say $3.5 million no. A kind of go say KT Hammond don't come at GMPC because any dia I don't know cotton a GMPC for dia. It is what we are. What is hard to me no. So the man see say Mufantoha no Chebenya Sama they kakutia. If they say 1.4 million out of the $3.5 million no. Sasikano is unaccounted for. You may be a fire. Now the conclusion in I say government further directs Iroko to investigate the mandate, authority, or basis of Honorable KT Hammond's disbursement of $900,000 to law firm Constant to cater for future debt of GMPC to other creditors. Again, say Iroko must investigate to undertake the assignment number one. No, proper account of how the $3.5 million that was lodged into a London bank was disbursed since the money belonged to GMPC. We didn't care once maybe. She didn't say 3.5 and then I can say KT Hammond and disperse it. Council, my article 94.2D now. I just said, sa case we no ye and Omampeni afa Katie say won koye the trade and industry minister. Adie we bit me as so on so. But Lama say the majority leader was very worried about this issue. Deputy Majority Leader Faye Markin also said it. Say if assembly in Shedan can once per year, then probably they might withhold the nomination of KT Hammond. Because honestly,
exactly. So the issue is about the state maybe at the end drew. In the first place, this was not in this present parliament. It was in the former parliament. This occurrence.
Yeah,
report. Yes.
Report was in 2014. NDC time crowd.
So you
2013, 2014.
And you see that he's contested the position of a parliamentarian. He's a parliamentarian.
Right.
Exactly. Meaning that if there were anything that barred him from becoming a parliamentarian, then it was gross over. Or otherwise, there's nothing against him.
That is also correct.
Speaking.
That is also correct.
And I don't have enough information to conclude, sir. There was a definite finding, sir. So you can see the use of discretion. Says he can say, or no, did it to me, take a decision when the thing belongs to GMPC. You should have allowed GMPC to take the
Exactly.
Exactly. So it is not conclusive, but looking at the nature of the law there, if indeed there is a finding like that against him.
But there is against him. This is the government white paper they're making.
Government white paper. Okay. And I can because Katie or you read you are saying
but that is what it is.
It's not against me, yes. So Bibi was said Tiana, of course, then the committee can look at it and use the divide. I'll be happy if the majority themselves, in such circumstances, come together with the minority and say this is the law. So KTM demand it will be a growth in our democracy, and we should begin to show those signs. So, and yes, part of the majority to buy automatically a person. Members of parliament should be independent minded. Say, review why sequence here passing the point here, say, because the president has dominated you. That will not help us. And did he say if there is a definite white paper, for suggest a KT, then he's not qualified to hold this office as a minister.
Mr. Kumar, the concerns are that Omampeni and then the presidential advisors, they ought to have known. Said there was a report like this. I got some background checks and sign on nominating KT Hammond to this position. Are they right to do say that?
Let me get something clear.
With you.
A white paper and I say a committee report.
A committee report, and it's a committee report. Government issues a white paper on the report.
Yeah, but committee report. And then it says KT Hammond IABB.
Committee report, STT said, Sikebia Abano. It was unaccounted for, and I'll give you the breakdown. Or say, $141 was transferred into your bank account with the same bank. The utilization of the transferred money remains a mystery to date. That's the expression. Committee report. Now the government white paper and the back said. Then so this is the government response. Or say the government response and say, government directs the Economic and Organized Crime Office to undertake the assignment 1. That is the issues number raising, the committee raising, and then government further direct IOCO to investigate the mandate, authority, and or basis of Honorable KT Hammond's disbursement of 900,000 to a law firm. And so, it's an assignment number raising the committee, and the government can was
in the IOCO report.
When the assignment was a report to that effect.
Who do you blame?
Who do you blame?
KT the Onyefi. I said, means that I'm say. Who a whole committee?
Just that post committee.
A fire Sikanafa mystery.
Yeah.
Ena abai. Senka abai who pay no crew mono. You call KT to order. Now I'm investigation team I come verify why and I will direct say you could we Oma odima omuno. Obiara for report to my.
Report no ko.
And that's the challenge.
Because majority of the can say they should knock on the doors of Iyoko. Now we check it quickly as to the status of this investigation.
What they will buy no nan come expect say oko hwe Iyoko reports nya na ode beto say Iyoko reports SCC na why. Enti your minister enye na it's so simple.
Now man penny they couldn't have done their own background check. Man penny ni nko for.
Yeah, because and bia na man penny so ahwe Iyoko report no we say bia Iyoko report no an kan we. And who say on Ghana. On say ya mo papa as a country. On say ya mo papa because say Iyoko ye dey adwuma we mama. Government and na we
NDC yeah.
Any idea you come Iyoko? MPP bar power. That was 2001 then. Omode Kwampepra. Omode Papa wa kunevence the all voter regional two. NDC for bar power 2008. No money brepa MP phone video matachum.
It's not players away no. It's an investigation address. That is true. That is very true.
And I'm here investigation.
On address.
And I'm who na mudia ko Iyoko na what me atla ho say. You see, we say now. This it means that C2 say yeah appoint to be. And this scan I hamo. Scan I hamo. See be this can hamo by appointment in T work report number. This is diabolical. I must be frank with you because the Mutina who paradigm as I'm coming Iyoko no Mutina who 8 years when me and my Iyoko
say 2014 and now
2014
they had 2 more years
into any report and I'm about more co-position cry the piano no the one can't say a dampo say Iyoko for it I report when you
can incident until and do am Sakawi that means
you see this a Ghana I
am so my na hwinim
I reho mine because money the Cambodia sa ama papa wa fa no wadi wasanti nya akoye a member of parliament 2016 asa about 2020 ni na Iyoko emfa report na say Iyoko no omote odi emfa so na ozo say Iyoko no yegu na
it ni say na Iyoko mami ti wona yo boss sia ti wa dankwa ana yo boss sia
ti wa dankwa
Iyoko for boss sia
majority is that say almost say I want say NDC for it they say approve on vet into one emre na NDC for their chom I think say who say politicians no dey wan go seriously who dey wan go oman no enye oman ye no hwehwe omo hwehwe omo ye because I think we edwin ebru ma dwene ntia so say nkamo amadwinu pa monim say papa na ye bone na mo issue white paper say Iyoko mo hwehwem na mo hwa ma Iyoko mo free power at sanchen mo ankan hwe aba we buy.
But I have heard NDC forecast KT drillship. Also the things on your body already.
You see,
I don't say that. What is a KT drillship?
But you see, as I'm no so bu o man na say pese o man no enka ye nyina ye papa mudia obi ye bone a na punish no na afi aye asena hwa ma fofo mo motime etime so ai jai bone ti but here is the case say mudia ye issue say appointment nkwan and punishment ana it is of first can dia ye manifest can ni so this can ko che obi a manifest can vanche so this can owiya ye manifest can is that the question? Because it looks like ya bibia and them say do appointment in the 18 akotwamba ti yetu de day 90 a minority front isn't a single day ko amotimi to Iyoko for amani say Iyoko for ya the report we bring mo say munye investigation mo fa report
with the investigation
na say the KT Hamon and the DCT parliament and you can go and come over can job say the way they no phrase e report ma ni hwe say the city dey e be community and want me anya hwe e do say ya appointment you see when you say na ya no mo ya I say we chanting we use say oh power o make say we chanting because me dey me who dey say say papa no oye bibia ye mfanche yan kwan the only country in this world that yetimi kwaji loans ye dey be kwan na ye beji loan no e kwan na anye yi e kwan da ho ye nye sika no so aba ye hu di sika no fa ye muso obia nso so the den kra ye musa no enya sem Parliament here yeti omuti hoi. Emfaso bi ani so.
It's in your
committee there no way.
Government Assurance Committee. It is Ketika Hula Baliu. The council baby. I don't know the
I'm sure there's no findings against him incriminating.
Okay.
Otherwise they would have used it. Report local report T1 to me water. So it could have been a classified document. Don't mean water per se. Indeed, if there's any findings against him panka position for now, they would have used it.
I see.
We like accusing, but the whom no kure umsa yanka. Auntie, I know they are sure that they will go to the root of it, but at the end of the day, they might not find anything negative.
Okay.
Against him.
But your Brian videos in the quickly na fe, you get a reaction from my guest Nanope. Brian Achampon, Minister Designated for Agric.
The ministry will be comfortable with what I'm saying. The deputy minister is here, but I found out that, and the deputy minister of finance is also here. So this may put me in trouble, but it's quite nauseating that as we speak, we have a great machinery sitting at the ports since 2020 that the people of the good people of Ghana paid for. And it includes machinery that can be used to process some of these rice. And it's still sitting at the ports. Mr. Chairman, I know that the Deputy Finance Minister will be very, very angry with it, but it's still there in about 30 containers. I can assure you that this situation is one that has come to my attention. We will deal with it. Every agric machinery that we import is going to go into dealing with the situation that we are talking about until such a time that the private sector have the capacity to mill our rice to feed into the population. I will act on it, Honorable Suhini. I shall. Thank you very much.
My deputy wants to go elsewhere. I'll give him the chance to ask.
The idea is to look at improved seeds that will increase the yield per acre, and if we're able to drive that, we will achieve enough because we have the land. I think our farmers, the 3 million farmers in Ghana that we have, are working on about 9 million hectares of land, yet we are not meeting the demand. And so the whole idea is to increase the yield. And that's one thing that I'm going to work with the research institutions to ensure that yield in our cash crop, in our food basket, and in cocoa is improved to achieve the right results. I thank you for caring about me.
So that's your incoming. That is if the Parliament is approving your minister responsible for food and agriculture. One and ever replace Dr. Akoto Owusu Efriye or the president Dinti or the Juma to on the Juma to and our president Di. I all campaigning. Council, I don't answer. It's all about president Di, but you know, president Okofani he nedi. Obepe president you. I think you don't believe that. So
Obepe me na so onya de onya.
Onya. Oh,
no more contest will come. So come.
Oh, but that's not fair to the man.
I don't have to be fair to him. I am telling you what is on the ground. Fairness and fair. You see, I struggle to appreciate some of them are even in the race.
Probably, but council. I mean, this is a man who was served as a former MP that, and was served as an MP that was serving a minor as a Greek minister 6 years in a row. I didn't see that.
Exactly.
So that is the best
he can do. The baby on the only call India for it.
Only call India for president. It's your own forgetting on pandemic.
Likely presidents, you know. You see when the Trump crowd to me. You see, I mean, some of them, I don't know why they're even wasting their time. History being on some truth about themselves. Otherwise, this long, tall list of people who want to contest president for the presidency. You know, I mean, you can know that most of them are only coming to add to the competition, but they are not.
Exactly.
On
campaign you're going meeting delegates all across the country. Obviously, campaign team. Anyway, what's your about a champion? Raise some concerns, agri sector. Quickly. Now, the one critical question, and it's for position, say, or say, it's a government size, so it's a for me now. So, Bana Chapo, how did it go for you?
The questions now, answer in the actual say, man, what's not what see, and over ministry. In this, intent and purpose, and say, President. Any finance minister, everyone acquire with my age man.
I'm not quite say.
Ever since her Omuma national buffer stock 15 million, somewhere 20 or so, more the tour a journey. Buffer stock I told you supply schools now up to 90 hours. Into we have agri minister, now say, Oko support to now see warehouse now told you near Oko to the commercial school for an car. No, I crippled. It's a Mr. Finance Minister. Any president.
What's about first relation can pass?
By nature, or no anything fancy kind. This are buying a support. Now buying a man of support now. Obeying them. That's sometimes the problem. I am the some of the ministers. Ministers who are Omuntiminka. I mean, I never quite higher than a phone. I will find this how. Or but some ministry, Nasa, Udi Juma Mano. Now, what can they want for man? One resign or say, Jumano, my jai, meet me. Ghana, Minister was so miserable.
Or Jimmy pay. Or Jim allowance.
Yeah, maybe I say no. I will my Susuma Sika, and Quania, Adebia, a some boy. Dimpanso ye, no dimpa. You feel near body, and Nipas Messi, a mamma, no. Encoyeno, or Jai. HSA, next time, can all compared my for be able to say Nipas Messi, would you money manner, also you push it, but so by any say, yet it was a Nenkoya, they intimidate, and Panama say, I do not would buy so obey a Greek or can you, mamma, I was so impressed that be I will meet you. Say, ye lantern system, I want. Yentimi ho hwe no na ma Greek ene mrantie ne ma ba yentimi nye na Greek no si yentimi amfa mrantie ne ma ba nso amemu a ya Greek enye djuma aha na afi so sika mrantie ne ma ba no be nya de aye djuma ne lacking because bank o Ghana edi pass oboko bank Ghana has me be jisika kodomo wow.
Now, agriculture development bank crown. When they go, they don't even need them. Agriculture development bank now. I say it's kind of my crown for them.
Almost history. Until one year. As a power. As a time say some years ago, Yendi area. No more rice farming. No mango for be low. Or rice farming. Ghana for sort of there in Pabonifo. Omudi scanama or farmers no. Anaju nunku chamu and we just true farm no tiade no na farm into your bank and say Aboka. The bank has to rise some of the loans of the only challenge they say and is that let's divert because you focus too much on agriculture until let's focus on other areas no more trade and yet in the medium if you say oh I dream pa President Finance Minister Omwan.
Yo, Council, and this is for issue statement. You say cut it down, government side from 86 to 65. Without that, sir, Nipa, we are they won't approve even one.
86 to say.
86 to 65.
I'm calculation.
Calculation. That was the statement they issued. 86 to 65. Njomo percent government in reducing ministers no almost say maybe merger and sanitation say you have local government railway you have transport chieftaincy and tourism so what it is na man so na you reduce situation na kama and you know kwa almost go for board office of the president ejuma ye ne sabi ejuma hunu your media director of media your media director your technical director to the media director your media director and assistant director some who say it so no okay 7,000
in general terms there and did you say reduction of the ministerial offices in the maybe support.
Okay.
It is a sign to show that government is committed to reducing the expenditure and cost near the I know the minimum yard in the past can't be better so especially when doing that near offices in crack but says he cannot involve the subetier. I'm also told that more parliamentarians, more ministerial appointment that they don't usually get any extra.
But allowances.
Exactly.
But they don't get extra pay. So it's MP na be minister, they still pay as the MP, but not the minister. But minister no continue board these allowances now Osaka.
Exactly. So it's always less expensive when a parliamentarian is appointed to an office. But NDC for opposition there, I don't agree with them because they've had the opportunity to govern before. They didn't reduce their ministerial position. I'm not doing so when we could not even get electricity. They didn't see it.
But not economy shadang sa wana.
We are sure.
Except was not fuel prices. Not fuel prices in this row. Na dollar no be about 3.2 cedis.
That argument I've never bought.
Oh, no, say is about 6 cedis.
Now where market price of fuel is.
Now me pay to fuel.
Now where market price of fuel is. And it is argument in the kura obia or nobody so or no enya minister be to the extent that government could not even afford diesel to run a generator. So
but when you're more than 100 ministers, so Mahama you're more than 100 ministers.
Whatever.
Mama was around 82 or 83 or so.
It was the same. They should have only 65.
Another call 120.
Only 65
and about 80.
And about 86.
They say only 65 almost 65. It's not when you're in opposition now. And seriously speaking, I think government shouldn't have waited for this call. Yes, and quickly deputies, for instance. There shouldn't be deputies in most of the ministries.
In fact, trade is or 3 deputies.
And they say we
trade industry.
What does it? We reduce. And now perception is a government cut down cost. That is all there is about. So who call Scandinavian council ministers if bike comes, hey, how do you? It might be a perception. We treat bike intelligence because we are. And the sign also are buying who say, let us get this impression in the mind and heart of the people. You want to break the 8, but you don't want to deal with perceptions. How do you break it? And government should be sensitive to those things. Only be when Timon so about cry who's a much about or more adjust your who send a cost be perform. Oh, for us, also, I want you to cry. That call is good, but not from NDC because NDC the only moral right even to call.
That's so much. We have a beautiful lines in the Amamu. In probably in the next 2 minutes, but my member Mankai is and the Grace Academy say we bana wanya 3 months or crèche nursery KG primary and GHS and batch of an bra and the Grace Academy school environment in a kamapa almost day and a boarding it is we border there for school more enjoy the facilities we the student almost buses buses and the fan cran if you to school and then back. The Biasana Mekano, and Quagiri Biana Junior Wayne, and about 6 p.m. Now you can Junior, touch it there be Junior Pond 4 pa. And then the fee. So Junior fee 6:30 to go school, Bassam Fan and Nako school. It was for free at the Grace Academy, and pay on 0243 714316. 0243 714316 and 0243 784762. 0243784762. Almost Santa saying them here quite here no more. It's my activity for lunch in Mama no pay na fee. when join the conversation no and I'm no can say or part that is a promise but I send them penny for a year confirmation no pay a year mother and baby unit ho a year a man or wa omutimi tia medical bills no yen penny for a set medical bills in the amount and now pay. That's a part of our 5 years anniversary no, and the theme of our anniversary is impacting lives. Inti mo bompaya mo so a mombo bi enfama ye aban ewa homa so frefia shaman zeno aban good morning.
Good morning Mr. Baka na mo ti say me
ba cho ho ye pa iti o mo to mami
mi sira bu ni enu producers ni duma pa mo di bo man Ghana Mr. Baka no kula atemu ewo eye appointees iri mu nyina ni say minority ye be bo ma pa so pa say akonya na beda ho say Ghana fo so a na yesu say o ma penye kufuado until the ministers ni so na we bubu nbiegu na so nu akonya we akonya minority infatu and reject ministers that na do dan ko kufuado appoint o mu nyina reject o mu nyina ma mo bia nya akonya dan ko ministry obi because you say ministers ya appoint o mu and ya bibi papa dia
me da see ba me call SK Bola so SK good morning SK.
Good morning, Obenketia Paka.
Mogori SK. Nyamad me hoya. Bonto mami.
So what and no penny for no. Papa, on say I buy no. I want the damage. We build to the Wujilan chain. Who must say what inside you know. And this is for a man who inside now 4 ministers I can see a bro so the room nim so mo dia no edoso one metre na ekomodi wo mo no mo nya han no ono mo se kugbaro no enkwaro no maba no mo doso ye de nya doso na ewu se de ya Ghana be yin duma pesa ani ewe the problem 2 million 5,000 francs o meba ama Ghana ye hwan han ya ye pe se dom no be ke tu na kugbaro so mo onje ya dem wo je ma se na ya Ghana for mo be try na be 2024.
No be it, you know. SK that's on the pay. Mami ko ba this one or this. Good morning.
Good morning, Papa.
Me ba che ti on for this one.
Me ba cho na ho ye de.
Nyam ya ho ye.
Papa really metro kata man fa kwanya su na me rehye mi akata na me akocha fupia a o bank ma. Do na friend so ma me rehye na akata bi. Nyam ko cha no ma no pa. Papa NPP4 ministers o ma appoint o mu nyina Papa o mu ntimi mwa o man o mu ko fa ministers 5,000 for aba o mu ni mwa papa bi ade mo man o mu nya no mu nsore o man so na yiga mahama mla no mu mbo man no me form man ni go see baby Papa ni mu ni mwa papa bi ade mo man ka minister ya appoint no onye serious so be de wat mi ama o man ntu akos you see what you want no man o ti vet na tia o joki o be minister na ta joki ka ba ba say that industry
sometimes they do na jokes na kakati is the tension and I no menya adwin anyway mama call na pon so fefi atwemampo no na pon good morning
aka me de wodu atwemampo no akasefu ade mra be nyinanyini mediane na napon papa paka anope wo hine back in Japan say wo show Oyerepa TV o te me mfancha kase ni abaso bompa mo begafo wo adwumapa ne tompa mo som moman internet president paka said the lawyer canon you know men to force more canon you like your mama breso na ministers no mu kura 84 ministers and then 86 and so 7 dantemo say ye hwehwe ni pede mu bekasa ato nya NDC fu etan say said you mo so mo hwe ni ye won papa bi o mo ye de ma ye na ne ye ka kire Ghana for ni MPP delegate ni say so ye to be obitima a break the 8 na aye was back in Japan and say I mo maka ni obi aboa etan say I'm call
the next call. So hello. A good day. Or post a good day for every quarter. So good morning. Morning.
Morning, Papa.
Back to you.
Papa, me that's Papa. I'm for few days on Fancy Modu. And come I just saw myself in my secretary, John Kuma, Deputy Finance Minister, and yet Mapa, or the Finance Minister, Ken of Right and the boss. I just see. The next show will be a contest now. The next person, Dr. Mahmoud Bob, on the switch. Papa. And if I am here, Papa. As a whole person body about president at all costs, and a president and see, I didn't see for say, ATM Wakoton, a Joseph. Omapa 8 years. Omakasa na right.
But your Jerry no cotton. What's it then?
8 years no papa. Oman to me. I Chenka bibi ho there ayinimo ate KTM wa di bonia and the NDCD 8 years and go to Oman to me anti KTM odantum. Papa ni year to work out wo say 2014 and omo year. It's 2 years 2014 2015 2016.
That is what the record say.
Offer. It's be a young flower from our offer. The new crowd from what I said generally say no offer. I don't want to defend the NDC at all costs. Make you want me to you want to be the tariff president at all costs. Offer no problem. NDC new alternative. Yes, come ministers at them offer. NDC etita. Ayi 84 ministers and I could for the kita 86 in the room.
Let us see and none of pay. I mean, if I just about 2 more calls, being after young up here on pay. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Parker.
Yeah, Madam Oyerepa, but your first and everything. Oh, Joseph. Oh, yes, I'm saying, gotcha.
I'm not a buy.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'll pay Joseph.
Parker, with a lawyer, and the woman to say, the Omay could see a
May I say a power?
Sometimes no, maybe you want to ask you, Nipa. Politics are me, I politics are me, I and the situation of my woman is here, you know. Opinion can't tell, say, no, my, we are not a pay, I are not a pay. Honest, I almost free. I mean, oh, my social commentators on the Casa. Some woman, you know, I am a medium, almost find me be from more. Omani wa massive 1 year, massive one. Omani year, Juma. Do report to party. Let the party yard and then do millions in a memoir. Until so we be. Police station now go to
Mate. I used to better say no pay. I don't call Bim Mensa or Bim Mensa for a free takwa. Or Bim Mensa Quabano pay.
Yeah, morning, Pachapume.
Yeah, Madam Oyerepa, sir. Great, meet you.
Namu said, Nana coronavirus by Acho.
Yeah, coronavirus by Ache.
Ghana coronavirus a NDC. Ghana coronavirus a NDC.
Me too. Me too. Ministers
no. Ministers no give double salary.
But say no more kind of double salary no. MPP for so MPs need double salary. Okay.
Oh, now so because minister na is minister ne does one. I'm gonna have Ghana. That is the coronavirus type. NDC.
Mate. Obedience of medicine no pay. Quite interesting. NDC coronavirus according to Obin Mensa. And then Pennyphone will call a vetting committee, and of course, we are expecting Mr. Carr. I think those are the two. And I think Obiamo, Obiamo Sobeba, and Nano Pay, and not to hobby. My solidarity with the Brian Champo. It's not to hobby, and KTM in no hobby. It's make of it what you will, whether KT bits marriage or something, and as a constitutional account was to me, are stopping from becoming the minister. But my guest here this morning, Claire say, Vivian and Nitula, probably end this phone to me, Vivian Fahano. Council, your call final words to our viewers.
I'm saying support to party be there, no cromony can. And Sebi, yeah, politics, but Udminia politics won't go fee. Look at the world over.
Yeah.
What you say, yeah, well, so Nimsani Akoso around the world and conquer the Okan. And you won't see the no missa say politically, worldwide. Maybe there's a world recession. I'm sure who be the one a big man.
Like global recession.
And yet, yet electricity. We all complain about governance, but let us be sincere with ourselves. What you have, electricity 24 hours, who got tofu, who need lie. I'm saying June 4th time by no Nikrumha. And please, we will not forget our past, and we will not support any agenda to say the government is doing so bad. And you're correct. We agree there are certain things which are not going on well, but I tell you, we are in a better place with MPP than any other party in this country.
Okay.
this is a fact that we have to let Ghanaians know. Senka Sabe, as soon as if we be na tisu na ne, and never say because you need be anti war. Nyame hye na papa, and was in the MPP na China party for papa. But you met na can some just to win the support of people. Finally, metia ayi akompreko.
Here what is I know because Kelly be no body dinko. Yeah, we don't work for Casa.
Nyame man and what no man humba.
Yo, ya metias. Mr. Kuma. We find out where's
Mami to end this party for no. Party me deal. Omo person minority leader no more pointing and say no problem. How can a party write to minority say Mama approve ministers I appoint to Abraham Munim say Muye 136 no Muye 138. How can you do that? Approve
exactly.
And do ko church say we na say echinenko say Omo antimi approve Omo na Omo approve Omo na mo party for akaka say Omo jiska. Omo dibidi. Omo yes Omo put too much pressure on their members now no minority leader so Omo can end it. I don't go to me say they approve man and only if you house it is a house no approve ye ntimi nya ho hwe we yes na ma party fotimi o da o me to aboaboro no
general secretary of that party no onu timi tro letter be instruct parliamentarians ana
say we ye bi kodia we funny three-line whip system in Parliament. That's how they say it. And then it's a party, no age, she starts statement. It whips everybody in line. Exactly. So could be a but there are repercussions. And but there are repercussions. The repercussions we say party meeting actual so. They bet me declare
contrary to party.
Exactly. Normally, three-line whip when the only issues are put there. Also, we are falling in line sanity.
And I mean, next time you so meaning say any question. Be a year may pass a statement say no so more approve you be an if you na equal say you better abano me agree minister.
The caveat is that
trade minister.
The caveat is that you MGB no me reduce CB or me yes and then we can approve money. That's the caveat.
Nobody
say you MGB and I make catch a way. I mean let's maybe I'm in just what 30 seconds. I mean maybe make an any we have quick education. So what they are proposing and say okay, so I'm saying Information and Communication Ministry.
Okay.
Yemaji 2. That's number 1. Transport and Railways, Midinkanka, Yemaji. Chieftaincy and Tourism, Yemaji. Sanitation and Local Government, Yemaji. So at least over 1, 2, that is 8. We're imagining now being 4.
That's what to 4.
They say these are the possible suggestions, but they do anybody. They say these are very clear suggestions. It's a clear suggestion.
Suggestion is good. No, Midi at the Chrissy do a mene.
Chrissy Packer Wilson, Nebusia for Evadamina say, and of course, our guest William Chrissy lawyer and then Aaron Kuma, none of pay so much better national in the Dinko. Most of Moshe Mufay, Damina, say, Mad Mochna, and Wednesday will come your way again with another edition of OBT. I come in now.